In this video, I'm sharing what families need to know before booking Disney's Explorers Lodge. This is the second video in a 4-part video series, and in the previous video I shared what it was like to visit Hong Kong Disneyland when the park is extremely crowded, along with some tips on how to avoid the crowds. And if you haven't seen the first video yet, I'll link it down below. But first off, let's start with a room tour and how it fit our family of 5. So this is the entrance to Disney's Explorers Lodge, where we have the characters in their explorers outfits. This is the lobby with the check-in area, and while checking in they ask if you'd like to purchase a toiletry kit, and they also offer baby amenities for free. We booked a basic room which was on level 1, while the check-in area is on level 3, so we took the elevator down, which was very cute.
It's like we're in a hot air balloon.
Now here's a look at our room with 2 queen beds. As you can see, it's very spacious, especially for Hong Kong. They actually had a small birthday surprise prepared, which were some small hand towels. There was plenty of storage space, which comes in handy when traveling with little kids, and all the stuff that you're carrying with you, like a stroller or baby carrier, for example. And then here's the bathroom with toiletries by the Rituals brand, which you could also purchase in the store on site. They also provided complimentary coffee and tea along with a cold and hot water dispenser. And then inside this binder there are some discount coupons that you can use at the store. Next, let's talk about transportation and access to the park. When you stay at one of the Disney hotels, there's a complimentary shuttle bus that takes you to and from the park. And it comes by about every 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the time of day that you take the bus. So in the morning, you'll get more frequent shuttles, and in the afternoon, it will slow down a bit. Just keep in mind that you might have to wait for the shuttle bus. And then there's also a dedicated park entrance for hotel guests, which I talk a lot more about in my previous video. But this really came in clutch for our family. And here's a tip. Make sure that you carry around the sleeve that comes with your hotel key cards so that you can have access to this dedicated park entrance. And at the hotel, there's also a very well-staffed concierge. And when I went to check about possibly booking a taxi because the next morning we had to leave really early in the morning to get to the airport, they just asked me what time we wanted to leave at, how many we were, and how many luggages we have. And it was just a very smooth experience. They were just like, okay, no worries, we'll make sure that the taxi is ready for you. And it was the next morning. So it was very, very smooth. I was very grateful for that. We opted to book a taxi because Hong Kong has a car seat rule. And if you're not carrying around the car seat, then I definitely recommend you taking a taxi since they're exempt from the car seat rule. Or of course, you could always take the train as well. The train system in Hong Kong is called the MTR. And there's a specific Disneyland Resort line that takes you directly to the park, so that's very convenient. Just keep in mind that during peak hours, this train gets really, really packed, like packed to the brim. Just be aware of that and be prepared for that. Now for dining, I highly recommend to plan food ahead. Every hotel room actually has a hot water dispenser, which could be used for some simple meals like cup noodles, for example. The restaurants on site are quite pricey. There's quite a bit of a range there between the restaurants as well. For example, when you purchase like a generic, very simple egg salad sandwich, I think it was about 65 Hong Kong dollars when we were there. Versus if you order like a main pork dish at Dragonwind, I think it runs you about 200 Hong Kong dollars. And then if you want a chicken or beef, it would be more expensive. Just keep in mind that there's quite a bit of a range there when it comes to ordering food, and that planning ahead might be your best bet. And then for breakfast, you could do a buffet breakfast on site at the hotel. There's also the possibility to buy breakfast at their self-service restaurant, which is called Chart Room Cafe. Now, if you wanted to do the breakfast buffet experience, which also includes a one character meat, just keep in mind that there's a time limit on this breakfast, and the limit is only 1 hour. For us personally, as a family of 5 with 3 young kids, 1 hour just felt too short, too stressful. So we did not opt for this option. We actually decided to just grab breakfast at the park. There's a bakery right next to the Starbucks cafe on Main Street that had pretty good items and that were reasonably priced. Our kids were very happy just picking out what they wanted. They actually finished their food, which is always a win. And we all enjoyed our breakfast. It was simple, of course, but it was yummy. And we felt like it was a good deal. And it was cute too, because they have really cute branding. So for our family, that just felt like better value. Now I'm going to share some of the hidden hotel perks that might be factored into your decision on whether or not to stay on property or to stay at Disney's Explorers Lodge. The first thing is the option to choose kid amenities. When you check in, they actually show you a sheet and they ask you what you need. All these kid amenities are free of charge. For example, like you might have seen in our room tour, we had these bed rails up so that the kids wouldn't fall off the bed. Then they also had like a kid's potty seat or a kid's toilet seat. They had like baby bathtub. So they had like a variety of items that you could request. And I thought that was very thoughtful. Then the hotel also offers activities during the day. Of course, we were mostly at the park, so we didn't really enjoy the activities, though there was one that my kids did with my husband, and I can't remember if it was like a story time or if it was something more like a quiz, which took place in the Nemo room. My kids weren't that interested in the activity itself, but they had fun playing around in the Nemo room. And then at the hotel, they also have a screen where they put up the names of the kids with birthdays and people with anniversaries. And I thought that was just a very cute detail. And then for me personally, I think the biggest perk of staying on site is the fact that there are character meetups at the hotel itself. If meeting characters is important to you or your child, hotel guests often have better chances at meeting characters throughout the day with a lot shorter wait times than at the park. And at Disney's Explorers Lodge, there's also a store where you can enjoy shopping in a much calmer environment. Actually, during the day, there were very few people at the store, so it was actually quite nice to go browsing. And I thought the store was pretty well stocked. And then in your hotel room, they actually offer discount coupons, which I thought was really cool. We really enjoyed shopping here, much more than at the main store. And, especially when you have kids, sometimes, shopping at the main store just gets really, really hectic. So when we went shopping here at the store, we would take the kids together, or we would just take turns. One of us would stay in the hotel room with the kids, and then the other one would go browsing for a little bit. And it just really worked out. It was just a much calmer experience. And then another one of the hotel perks for us was having access to the concierge, which just really took out the stress from having to book a transfer to the airport. It was just very convenient. And then lastly, I think having the pool on site is always a big plus, because I feel like it sometimes really helps to decompress the kids after having, a day where they're just so overstimulated. Being able to just go back to the hotel and take a plunge in the pool before heading back out, for example, or just, right after having just a really long day, I think being able to jump in the pool for a little bit, it can be very helpful for kids to decompress. Unfortunately, during the time that we were there, the pool was closed. I can't remember if it was for maintenance or for some other reason, But yeah, I think that's one of the other hotel perks, is just having access to that pool during the day. All right, let's talk about the cost of the hotel and how to possibly reduce the price. When we booked, we actually took advantage of a Black Friday sale. We booked a room early December for our stay end of January. And so there was a Black Friday sale, and I was going to book through the official Disneyland webpage. And I noticed that Klook had a similar Black Friday sale going on. The price was actually even a little bit cheaper than what they were offering on the website. So I ended up booking through Klook. And so I think one of the sweet spots to book this hotel is to combine a major sale like the Black Friday sale along with one of the travel portals like Klook, for example. So we paid $192 per night for 2 nights, and these are the ones that I booked through the Black Friday sale. Later on, I decided to add on one more night, and that was a Friday night. So that was a little bit pricier, plus that was also outside of the Black Friday sale. And for that one, we paid $250 per night. So the total for 3 nights came out to be $633.60. And for us as a family of 5, staying offsite was not significantly cheaper. So we opted to stay on property instead. Plus, we also wanted to just really be immersed in that Disney spirit. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for video 3 in this series where I cover a luxury hotel stay in the center of Hong Kong. See you there. Bye.